I've just stepped off the path by the canal. It's really, really windy here in Cheshire today. And I've come down into this little bit of scrubby woodland to try and get away from the wind. It's still making a lot of noise in the leaves above me, so I don't know whether the sound will work on this video at all. But at least it's not blowing across the microphone itself, I hope. Wow. What I was thinking about, which I was reading just before I left the house this morning, is about belief again. I'm still trying to understand belief properly. I'm trying to get a better grip on it. And there's a couple of things about that. I don't know if I can capture them both in a single video. But one of the things I was reading was to do with it's in this book by James Carse, which I've mentioned before, about what he calls the religious case against belief. And he's talking about the relationship between religion and belief with regards to the concept of the world. And I really like it. It's partly a reason why I like it, I think, because he uses the spatial metaphor that I'm very attracted to, which is a metaphor based on the experience of standing in a wide open space, looking out to the horizon and kind of seeing the earth terminate at the horizon or roll away from view, that kind of thing. And it draws on that metaphor, but he doesn't use that metaphor specifically. It comes very close though. And he's saying that religion and belief approach the idea of the world in different ways. And I should just say, by the way, that this book overall, which is a really nice book, is basically arguing that an obsession with belief is anti-religious, if anything. That religion is not about belief. Belief, he says, is about kind of radical ignorance. I can't remember the phrase he uses, but it's a kind of apophatic, via negativa, that kind of approach, an absolutely acknowledgement of not knowing, he says, is at the heart of religion, not belief. That's the overall case he's making. But in relation to the world, he says that religious viewpoints of the world and belief-driven viewpoints of the world are very different. He says a religion's viewpoint of the world, and he uses the word communitas. No, I haven't got any time to talk about that. A religious view of the world, he says, kind of takes a Wittgensteinian approach. The world is all that is the case, so everything is the world. Everything that you know, everything that you don't know, everything that you can't know, everything that no one can ever know is the world in his description of that. And religion, within that understanding of the world, is what you can know, and the acknowledgement that occasionally you reach the boundaries of that knowledge and stare out into nothingness. There is lots of stuff you can't know. So it's this horizon thing. You look towards the horizon and you know that the earth stretches away below it and space stretches away beyond and above it. But you can't go there and you can't get close-ups and you can't take a microscope to the horizon and see what's beyond it, any of those kind of things. So religion is in the world and articulates that kind of human relationship to all that is the case, including all that is the case but that we cannot know. The world in a belief-driven sense, he says, is very different. He says the world there is contained by beliefs and is bordered by other beliefs. That's kind of what he's saying. And so rather than a horizon, I mean, he does use the word horizon, but how I'm visualizing this is rather than a horizon, you meet a kind of boundary, like a boundary between nations or a boundary between continents. And if you go to the edge of your belief, you're not met with nothingness, you're met with a conflicting set of beliefs. So world, in a belief-driven sense, is a bounded region within a space of conflict, alternative beliefs, problems, challenges, apostasy, heresy, all those kind of processes. I really like that image. I think that's fantastic, and I like that definition of religious. I'm still not comfortable with using it myself because I still think it's got far too much baggage for me to be able to adopt. But I do like that conceptual image of a way of citing oneself in relation to the world, the Wittgensteinian world of everything that is the case, which sees that world, which sees oneself religiously bound up into a particular region, surrounded by the unknown, the unknowable, the possibly knowable, areas of exploration, areas of where one might want to make leaps of faith, areas that might want to just stand on the ocean and look out, with awe and inspiration at the vastness of the void, that kind of thing. The alternative, the world of belief, I can kind of relate to. I think that's very much a narrow, parochial, paranoid version of the world, I would say. I hope the sound works okay in this. I also kind of hope you can hear the trees, because it's a fantastic sound.